In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a topographic profile using Indiana as an example. So what I've done over here on the right-hand side is I just did a simple search. So you could do physical regions of your state, you could do physiographic regions of a state, or maybe landform regions. Any of those should get you to a nice image or something that should show the different physical regions of a particular state. And so, of course, this one right here, it's a county map. That's not going to show us anything. But I'm going to play around here. I'm going to look at this one here. What do we got? What do we got? What is this telling me? All right, perfect. And so up here, I've got the northern moraine and lake region. That's physical geography. I've got this till plain region. And then it looks like the southern hills and lowland regions. So already, as I'm looking at my particular state, as I go from north to south, I should see some changes. I should see these particular areas. Now, as I go from, let's say, west to east, if I'm going right here along the Tipton Till Plain, I'm not going to probably see much because it's all one same landform region. Some things I might note, though, are certain rivers. Where rivers are, you should see lower lying areas where rivers are. So it's something to note. So just before you go ahead and start drawing your topographic profile, which once again, think of it as a cross section, which you're just cutting right into the land, removing one side of it, and then looking at it from the side view rather than looking at it from above. Let's go to work here. Let's go to and zoom into our particular state of interest, and our state of interest is Indiana. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room for the profile. And so I'll start off by going ahead and clicking on this pencil, and then that will get me started here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the north part of the state to the northern boundary to the southern boundary. Double click, and it'll take about 10, maybe even 30, 47 seconds to create this profile. It's doing a lot of work. It's creating it for us. And here we have an elevation profile maker now made from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. And if you notice, as I move from the beginning, 0, the northern part, our initial dot at the top, and I move down, notice on the map, that blue dot is also. And so what we can do is we can go ahead and start identifying rivers, for example. So we can see right here, this lowland area, this low-lying area, happens to be right where the Wabash River is. So essentially, the Wabash River does a good job of separating the northern moraine and lake region from the Tipton or the central Till Plain region, right through here, through central Indiana. Then we'll come down here. Well, we got another river, this low-lying area. That's the West Fork of the White River. And we'll continue on and notice the rugged topography here in south central Indiana. And that corresponds with the southern hills and lowland regions. And so it's very hilly and very lowlandy here in this southern part of the state. And so as I've gone from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state, I can clearly see and identify these on the topographic profile, these different regions of Indiana, the northern moraine and lake region, the river of the Wabash River here that separates these two distinct physical regions of Indiana. Then the central Till Plain, we have Indianapolis in the West Fork of the White River, and then that gets us to the rugged topography, the hills and lowlands of southern Indiana. Now I'm going to replicate this for going from west to east. Now a very simple observation to make in this particular one is as we go from west to east in Indiana, we actually go up in elevation. So it's not much. I mean, we're talking, go to Colorado and you're going to see much differences in the elevation in feet. But it's a slow, steady, uphill jaunt as we go from west to east across this topographic profile. Nonetheless, we can see certain rivers. And so right through there, that's the Wabash River again. And we kind of work our way up towards Indianapolis when we get to the White River West Fork. And so once again, those rivers show up again. And eventually we work our way over to Ohio, and where we see the highest elevation. So just knowing what I know in Indiana, the highest elevated point is somewhere right around in this area here. And so that makes sense. We go up to that highest point, which is roughly in this particular area here. So essentially, this is one particular physical region I'm going through. You can possibly see this Wabash Valley very clearly here, these subregions, let's say. but the central till plain region, relatively flat other than those rivers. And so I can identify river locations, and in that previous in the north to south, I could clearly identify these physical regions on the topographic profile, which is exactly what you're going to do for your particular state of choice.